Yesterday, out of nowhere, Amazon released its own AI IDE named Kiro, yet another VS Code fork that will compete for the hearts and minds of programmers alongside editors like Cursor, Windsurf, Firebase Studio, and Copilot, just to name a few. It's powered by Claude Sonnet 4.0, but claims to be better at handling complexity than these other sloppy tools thanks to an approach called spec-driven development. And right now it's free to use, but that's not the only good news for developers. The Chinese just dropped Kimi K2, an open-weight agentic coding model that approaches the performance of Claude. These tools are so powerful, they might even be able to fix pirate software's code so the entire internet can finally stop dunking on this guy. In today's video, we'll try out Amazon Kiro to find out if it truly is the Cursor Copilot killer. It is July 16th, 2025, and you're watching the Code Report. You might remember a few weeks ago when OpenAI was going to buy that other VS Code fork, Windsurf, for billions of dollars. Well, that deal fell apart, then Google came in and gutted all the talent from the company by convincing them to abandon ship and join Google for $2.4 billion. That screwed over many of the employees at Windsurf, but it's not a total loss because then Cognition, the creator of Devon, swooped in after Google to buy up all the scraps in what appears to be an all-stock deal. We live in a world where people will literally pay you billions of dollars for a VS Code fork because all these companies are desperate to get developers to use their products. But the company taking the lion's share of developer money is Anthropic, primarily thanks to its Claude Code CLI tool. Anthropic went from less than $1 billion in revenue last year to now over $4 billion this year, and one of their biggest investors is Amazon, which has pumped $8 billion into the company so far. Now, if you don't use Claude Code, there's a good chance you use an IDE like Cursor powered by Claude instead. It's great, but the problem is that Anthropic has Cursor by the balls. If developers want to use Claude, Cursor needs to act as a middleman and price it in a way that can eventually become profitable. Recently, Cursor tried to make some tweaks to its pricing that caught some customers off guard because suddenly their vibe coding bill became way higher, and Cursor had to later come out and apologize publicly. If that weren't bad enough, now here comes Kiro. It's also a VS Code fork with many similar features, and based on its initial pricing, it looks like you'll be able to get much more out of Claude for a much lower price. I'm sure it's a total coincidence that Amazon chose to release Kiro right now, but let's try it out and find out if it's any good. Overall, I think the UI looks really nice, but it did feel a bit slow and was missing small features like chat checkpoints in Cursor. I also ran into a bunch of delays because the service was overloaded, but these are issues you would expect on an early release product like this. The biggest difference though is that Kiro tries to prevent you from generating a bunch of slop all at once. Rather than go straight to code, it encourages you to start in this requirements MD file, which defines things like the user story and acceptance conditions. Then once that plan is in place, it can move on to the design, which is the design document that outlines implementation details like your component structure, your testing strategy, error handling strategy, and so on. And then finally, those two documents get combined together to create an implementation plan. Each task will outline the code the AI should write, then you can click this button in the IDE to start it. Overall, the process felt a bit slower, but it does feel like a much more sane approach if you're building something serious or working with a team of multiple people. Overall, it feels like an IDE designed to appeal to developers working in enterprise, where things like design documents and consistent code quality matters. But currently, Kiro is closed source and only powered by Claude, but in the future, they plan to offer other models. Right now, Amazon is offering it for free, so using it's a no-brainer, but only time will tell if it becomes a legit Cursor killer. But if you want to harness the full power of AI, you need to understand the math and computer science behind it. And you can do that today for free with Brilliant, the sponsor of today's video. Their How AI Works course teaches you how to build a functioning language model from scratch and lets you experiment with things like feature vectors to edit facial expressions and images. So this hands-on approach to learning helps you master challenging concepts over time and is proven to be 6 times more effective than watching video lectures. Try everything Brilliant has to offer for free for 30 days by visiting brilliant.org/fireship. Or scan the QR code on screen to get 20% off an annual premium subscription. This has been the Code Report. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.